Is it 10 o'clock at night when I'm filming this? Yes. But listen, I am no better than the next person when it comes to waiting to open book mail. I don't know how people do it to where they have endless amounts. No, I just got packages in today and I have to open them. And so here is the very first book haul of 2024 for you guys.
1, 2, 3.
Not everything is in packages. A lot of this has been accumulated over the past month or two. So Christmas gifts, stuff purchased around Christmas, purchased with Christmas money. And then everything in the boxes is retail therapy because we put my dog down this past weekend and that's my only emotional response. I feel like my fantasy has been lacking. Like I've been very inspired to read romance, but I needed something to inspire me to pick up the rest of my fantasy TBR, which is I'm only waiting on one book, but we will get to that when we get to the packages. We're gonna get to everything else first. I have 3 mini stacks over here. I am obviously very grateful to be able to buy these books and to be gifted them, and I am super excited for what this year brings. With the pile right here, which is all romance. So the first book I have on top is The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. You can see I started this. I'm about, I think, 50 or so pages in. Just haven't picked it back up. I think I just needed another Lynn Painter book to motivate me to read the one I already had, which is better than the movies, and I did. Obviously, I picked it up a little bit. So that's progress. Another author that I feel like I just needed to own one more book by them to pick up the first one I had was Miss Abby Jimenez. So I picked up yours truly. I have heard that I think her new one coming out this year just for the summer, a lot of people are saying is better than this one, and this was a ton of people's favorites from this past year. So I'm very excited to pick this one up in Part of Your World because I've had so many comments now to read that book. I have 3 books from a series, and that is Addicted Calloway. So I have Thrive, I have Addicted After All, and Feel the Fire. I am collecting the new covers as they come out. I do have to buy the first 3 eventually in the new covers. Sorry, they're all the same size, but I have these 3. I'm excited to dive back and hopefully tackle a little bit more of this series in 2024 as well, because I don't think I read any of it last year, honestly. It's a big one that was kindly gifted to me for Christmas, and that is the Grip trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. I have read Flow so far, which I think is a little novella, and then I still have Grip and Still, but this is a bind up of all 3, and I've just been reading them on my Kindle. The next one, I am super excited to pick this up very, very soon, and that is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I never read The Dead Romantics because it never seemed up my alley, but this one does, and you can't really deny the amount of good reviews it's had. You know, it makes the book intriguing, so I feel like I need to pick it up, and I kind of want to annotate it as well. The next 3 books I have all read. First is Love Redesigned by Miss Lauren Asher. You can see I also annotated her. Loved this book, gave it a 4 stars. I love Miss Lauren Asher, so naturally I had to pick up her new book that I hadn't picked up when it came out. I actually was gifted this by my lovely boyfriend's mom as my graduation gift, and I am so thankful. Loved it. 2 books I picked up after I read them on Kindle Unlimited because I love this series and this author. That is Miss Stephanie Archer in her Vancouver Storm series, which is Behind the Net and The Fake Out. The Fake Out just came out in December, I believe, and I read it this month. These are nearly 5-star reads for me, both of them. I just love them so much. She knows how to write her men, and no miscommunication, no third act breakup, none of that. If you're looking for a nice hockey romance that's better than Elle Kennedy, check out Stephanie Archer and her Vancouver Storm series. This book I have here is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. One of my ultimate favorite books to come out of 2023 was the Mindfuck series, and this has just been blowing up recently because it is very, very close to the same concept as the Mindfuck series, and this is also a series following, I believe, the brothers, but this one is 2 serial killers meeting up every year to kill other serial killers, and that's right up my alley. People are kind of out of curiosity. I've heard a little bit about them, but not too much. I heard one was really, really good, and one is kind of meh. But I've heard a lot about this author, so I kind of want to feel her out, and her books just got new covers, so when I saw them at Target, I had to pick these up because I'm very excited to read romance around Valentine's Day, and I think it's gonna be so fun. And that is So Not Meant to Be and a Not So Meet Cute by Miss Megan Quinn. And just, like, you can't tell me these covers aren't adorable. Last romance I have here that is not in any of the packages is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Rodkey. I haven't heard too much about this, but I've seen a lot of people pick it up around Valentine's Day last year because, I mean, how can you not? Like, look at this cover. It is a hardback. I did not know I purchased the hardback, but honestly, I'm not mad about it. I think the rest are fantasy besides this one, which is a nonfiction. My boyfriend picked this up for me after we saw it at the Maryland Renaissance Fair, and that is The Dark Queens by Shelley Puhawk. And it is about the rivalry between two queens. Very nonfiction. There's some art in here as well. And it is basically the story of these two queens that many TV show, book, movie characters are inspired by. Shakespeare characters, Cersei from Game of Thrones, which was our series this past year, so I naturally was very intrigued to read this book. Now the rest are fantasy. My boyfriend's mom was so sweet and got me 2 box sets. She got me the box set for The Dark Artifices, which, look at the spines, and that is Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows. I love these covers so much, and my favorite cover out of the entire Shadowhunter universe so far is Queen of Air and Darkness. I just love the blues and the reds. The box set she picked up for me was The Infernal Devices, which here are the spines all lined up in the covers. Infernal Devices is going to be a Clockwork Princess, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Angel. I did them in backwards order, but that's okay. I'm just waiting on The Last Hours to come out in paperback at the end of this month. And I love the entire series, and I'm so excited. I already started, and I'm excited to continue and hopefully tackle a large portion, if not all of this series, which would be amazing, this year. Next, we have 4 more before diving into the boxes. First one, my grandparents so lovingly picked up for me, and that's Powerless by Lauren Roberts. You can see I start reading because I got off of a serving shift just now, or is it just a day of verbal dyslexia? I don't know. Up Powerless by Lauren Roberts for me. You can see I just started reading it. I'm about 150 pages, 170 pages in, and I am enjoying it so far. They're just starting the trials. I have a feeling I'm really gonna love this. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. At one point, I'm trying this new thing where I only pick up the first book in a series to make sure I like it before buying the whole series, even though this is only a duology. But I really want to try Chloe Gong's writing. I know Rach Reeves loves her writing, so I feel like this is a nice little duology to start off with that's inspired by Romeo and Juliet. So, last 2 need no explanation in themselves, and that is the special edition of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I have not been able to dive into Iron Flame yet, but I am trying to annotate my way through Fourth Wing before doing so. I'm really in no rush to read Iron Flame as much as everybody else was. Yes, Fourth Wing ended on a cliffhanger, but I get really turned off by how long in between next books in a series. I know this is the 5-book series, so this is going to be ending on some kind of cliffhanger. And from what I've heard and saw, the next book doesn't come out until December of this year. So therefore, I'm in no rush of reading this one. I'm so excited to get into the one thing that's not in the box. Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the first book in the, I think it's called the Jaded trilogy. This is a little bit higher of a fantasy, but Jade is kind of like a drug, I think, and it's like drug trade dystopian fantasy, something along those lines. It's called the Green Bone Saga, but I've heard so many beautiful things about this, and I'm so excited to dive into this. And I only got the first book. I behaved. Smaller of the 2. First book I have is Curse of Shadows and Thorns by L.J. Andrews. I saw this one circulating just a little bit. I don't fully know what it is about, but it's a new series and a new fantasy author that I just really wanted to try. Let's see. A bargain between enemies, a curse without an end, a love that will bring a kingdom to its knees. Say less. The font is also pretty big, which I make no complaints about. Now, if we're on a fantasy kick, you know I had to buy this book. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I know the second one just came out, but I've heard so many good and intriguing things about this fantasy series. I think it's like a duology or a trilogy. Let me know down below. I want to say it's a duology, but I may be wrong. But my curiosity got the best of me. I just had to pick this book up. The cover is just so like mysterious, and I know it's something about like a nightmare trying to kill this girl, and they have to go on a quest with her, and I don't know, but I'm intrigued. Brings into the package I'm waiting on that is on back order, and that is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. So I'm waiting on Divine Rivals. It should be here sometime next week, but obviously with the holidays it has been on back order. I was waiting for the longest time for this to come out on paperback and just read it on Kindle Unlimited. I caved. I had to get the hardbacks. I'm okay with buying hardbacks if it's a Kindle Unlimited read, so I'm still just gonna read it on my Kindle and then add in annotations. I think I started it a little bit ago, but never got too far into it to where I was like into it. This book I have in this box is Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. This is a little fantasy duology as well. I don't know a lot about it. I think I've seen it in someone's fantasy recommendations video, and it's just been in my Amazon list for a while, and I was like, why not? Like, the paperbacks are kind of cheap. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to indulge, you know? It was retail therapy. There was no justification to it whatsoever when it's retail therapy. Box I have here is a little heavy. I see on top here. This is another one. Curiosity and TikTok got the better of me. I've seen this author all over my For You page, all over my Instagram reels, signing books. So I had to see what it was. That's Light Lark by Alex Astor. If you guys have read this, let me know down below what the intrigue is. What do we think of it? Why does Amazon keep doing this? They keep sending random books. This is how Last Chance books came. I also saw this in someone's favorite fantasy books of 2023, and it's been in my Amazon list for a while, and that is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. This is a duology. I think it's These Hollow Vows, and maybe not. Maybe I'm getting These Violent Delights mixed up with it, but I know it's a duology or a trilogy. It's also really big font, and she's floppy. We all know how we like floppy paperbacks. These Twisted Bonds is the second one. I think there might only be two. Bree would do anything before making a deal with the Fae. A beautifully broken and epic fantasy. Oh, that's right. That's also what intrigued me, is Sarah J. Maas and Jennifer L. Armentrout blurbed it or reviewed it. Next book I have in here is a little romance I've had my eye on for a little bit, and that is the Romance Book Club by Lissa K. Adams. I've heard brilliant things about this. Just a cute little boy rom-com of these husbands starting a book club to figure out how to, I think it's how to get their wives to pay attention to them more, or like please their wives more, or something like that. Can we talk about this? I won't even need to break the spine on this. This one has been on my fantasy TBR since when I was scared to pick up fantasy in 2021 when I started reading, and that is Scythe by Neil Schusterman. This, I'm pretty sure, is like certain people in this society grow up to become a scythe, and they're kind of like death. Like, they decide who lives and dies at what time. I heard about this through Rach Reads, but Sarah Caroli really made me want to pick this up recently. She's a little battered, but it's okay. The Prison Healer Trilogy by Lynette Noni. I only picked up the first one. I was very close to picking up all three. By the way, pick up all three separately, not in the box set. It's so much cheaper to pick them up separately. It's the first one. I am so excited. My one thing that is not a book. It's Hair Bows we got 2 more in here. We have Ever the Brave, also by Erin Summerall. This is the second book to Ever the Hunted. Again, don't really know what it's about, but it's a beautiful cover. The very last book is a romance, and she is beat up, but it's okay. That is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I feel like I need to know about this book. This, and I think it's The Road Trip. I had my eye on Beth O'Leary. I had my eye on Beth O'Leary for a while now. So this is the first book I wanted to start off with because I feel like this is a cult classic for this author, and it's just adorable. You can definitely tell I have a romance themed video coming and planned for February, so I'm very excited. And I feel like just like with the nails, it looks perfect. Also did the nails, shout out. So excited to put all of this away. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the ring light reflection in my glasses for a little bit, but hopefully it wasn't too bad for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love on my last video. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to go check out the 24-hour readathon video. I'm hoping to do a timer themed reading challenge coming up here shortly. And once again, thank you guys so much for your love and support and subscribing. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe down below if you want to see more reading content from me, and give this video a thumbs up, because who doesn't love book hauls? Try to do a regular video, and then at the end of every week doing a weekly vlog. Not necessarily a weekly reading vlog, well, also kind of just like a general weekly vlog that you guys can see what I read for a week and what I'm up to and everything like that. So I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, check out my bookish playlist if you want to see more of my content while you are waiting for more to come out. And thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing 2024 and hope that your reading has started off good so far this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
1, 2, 3.